Hello and welcome to What's in this week's Oban Times with me, Fiona Scott.
And me, Sandy Neal.
A very good morning to you, Sandy Neal.
A very good morning to you, Fiona Scott.
Thank you very much. Aren't we polite today? Yeah, you might have noticed that Kathy's off this week. She's gone on a well-earned break, but before she went, she looked into fears that have been raised over patient care at Oban Hospital and reveals the response to a Freedom of Information request by the Oban Times in relation to the homing of refugees. Kathy also reveals why production at Mull Slaughterhouse is in danger of coming to a halt. Sandy, what have you been up to?
Well, thank you very much, Fee. Well, it's a week before councillors decide to adopt or ditch the council's controversial school clusters proposal, and campaigners have been ratcheting up the pressure on them. In the sun and fun of Mull's Salen show, the dangers of bringing dogs too close to cattle was made very clear. We also have the latest on the pig racing at the Isla show, if you were desperate to find out. How many duck puns can you fit into one story? Well, luckily for you, we've spared you from our worst instincts and just popped in one or two into our roundup of the Oban Rotary Club's charity duck race. When 4 millimeters of plywood is all that separates you from the vast Atlantic Ocean, you really have to want to be there. That's why Darius Namdaran is charting a course from the northern tip of Ireland to Scotland's most sacred island in his 10-foot dinghy, Phoenix. You can read all about his adventures in this week's Oban Times. You can read all the stories and lots more online by going to obantimes.co.uk or by picking up a printed copy in newsagents, supermarkets and petrol stations. We'd love hearing from you and getting your pictures and stories, so why not email us at editor@obantimes.co.uk, or you can message us on Facebook. Now, moving from rowing to rowing, an almighty row has broken out over who is to blame for food shortages in the Western Isles and what's been playing merry hell with the reliability of island flights. You've been asking. Well, we also have one minister's answer to that. And CalMac staff and customers are set to be the subject of an 8-part TV documentary next year, in maybe the most vexed period in the ferry operator's history. Fee, back to you. What else have you got in this week's sport?
Well, I've got a bit of high-octane action for you this week in the Oban Times sports section. Two-wheeled talent features strongly in this week's edition, with Tynalt's Ewan Sim and Connell's John McPhee both in action recently. On to four wheels, and we have news of Mull Rally and what happened when this year's entries opened. West Highland Yachting Week also took place recently, and this week we have a report from Oban's Sailing Club on how the local crews fared in that. Oban Saints and news from around the shinty grounds complete this week's action. So that's all for us this week. Again, if you want to read all this week's stories, go to obantimes.co.uk or pick up a copy from your local supermarkets, stores and petrol stations. So for now, it's goodbye from me, Fiona Scott.
And goodbye from me, Sandy Neal.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, 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 hey.